For over 25 years, our next guest has focused on bringing state-of-the-art measurement solutions to the North American market from leading instrument companies around the globe. Craig Alshouse is president and COO of COSA Xentaur, and he joins us on the program now. Craig, welcome to Talk Business 360. Craig, first of all, what kind of measurement technologies does COSA Xentaur specialize in?
Understand what kind of measurement technologies COSA Xentaur specializes in. You have to understand our strategy to go to the market. Our strategy is one of being a measurement company, not necessarily an instrument company. And what this means is we focus on measurements, a specific set of measurements, where we have significant understanding of the applications. And then we build a technology portfolio around those measurements to try to handle the full scope of applications that measurement is used in. For instance, we have 7 different technologies to measure moisture, ranging from traditional electrochemical sensors to tunable diode lasers, tunable IR filters, attenuated total reflectance, nuclear magnetic resonance. We apply this strategy also to our calorific value measurements, sulfur, nitrogen, combustion control, and other areas where we have this application expertise. Because we have this broad portfolio of technologies, we view ourselves as the application experts for these technology, not necessarily the root source of the technology. We have technology partners located around the world that provide some of the root sources of the technology, and then we focus on the final development commercialization of these technologies. Physical Science Inc. in Boston, Massachusetts is a good example where we're a commercial partner of theirs for the development and commercialization of tunable diode laser technology and chemical measurements. So that's how COSA Xentaur delivers our innovative measurement solutions.
And what industries do you serve?
In terms of industries, since we're focused on chemical measurements, that brings us into oil and refining, chemicals, and natural gas, energy, power generation, the traditional industrial chemical processing markets. However, because our technology portfolio is so broad, we have expanded into pharmaceutical, food, agricultural, aerospace, and a number of other market spaces. To give you kind of an example for this, I'm using moisture again as the example. We can measure moisture in carbon dioxide, which is a difficult measurement to make. So we have one technology that's employed in Texas in a refinery for making that measurement. We have an electrochemical technology that's being used in a sugar refinery in India where they're taking the CO2 off the fermentation to use for beverage grade CO2. And then finally, we have another optical technology employed in a high carbon blanket gas application in a steel mill in Japan where they're carburizing steel. So that gives you a kind of a overview of how these things get employed and the different techniques that have to be used depending on the application, but it's all moisture in CO2.
Now, Craig, COSA Xentaur is an innovator in the optical technologies used in these measurement applications. How does better technology translate to greater ROI here?
In terms of our overall innovation in spectroscopy, we believe that the measurement business is moving more and more towards online measurements and less offline measurements. This requires faster measurements and also ease of use of the measurement in an online environment. Spectroscopy and optical techniques are focused on this because they can provide multiple measurements at the same time, where electrochemicals measurements and sensors are focused on a specific compound. The optical and spectroscopy measurements are non-destructive. They can be run in situ. They also have a significant reduction in the amount of consumables required to support the measurement and also a reduced calibration frequency. So the bottom line is we deliver a number for the customer to use to improve their product quality, improve their costs, and ultimately their return on investment in the process. So the optical and spectroscopy techniques, as I said, deliver faster real-time process control, which improves the return on investment for the company. Because we can do multiple measurements with one instrument, they have to buy less instruments, thus reducing their capital costs. And finally, the expense of supporting the measurement on an ongoing basis is also reduced because of the lower operating costs of these techniques. So that's the overview of the COSA Xentaur Innovative Measurement Solutions.
Craig, thanks for being with us today. That was Craig Alshouse, President and COO of COSA Xentaur. For more information, visit COSAXentaur.com. That's COSAXentaur.com.